I'm Juanita and welcome back to the Knit Guru. I can't hold my mug in a way that shows you the thing and the cats and still drink out of it, but this is my Halloween post. I haven't yet decided whether or not you're watching this on a Wednesday as a bonus post, or whether or not you're watching this instead of one of my spooky Socktober videos for Socktober. It's probably going to be instead of one of the Socktober videos. We shall see. In the meantime, I've got moody clouds. I've got Halloween kitties. This is from Bailey J. And I've got a mug that's got a little jack-o'-lantern on it. So what are we here for? This is my Halloween yarn haul and a reminder of some Halloween projects of the past that you might want to have a dip of your toes into. But the main reason why I wanted to jump on this right now is for my New Zealand viewers and probably my Australian ones as well, because I bought Halloween yarn. And it's cheap. And it's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I went to Spotlight, and I say I went to Spotlight. I sent my fingers on the keyboard to Spotlight, and they said, "Ooh, would you like some yarn on sale?" And I was like, "Ooh, I would indeed like some yarn on sale. Why, thank you, Spotlight, for knowing what I want so well." I was actually going to look at Christmas things, because I figured if I don't start that now, I might never start it. Anywho, other than the fact that this has been crushed, because by the time it comes in the courier to me in rural New Zealand, it's going to be all over the place. Right, first thing we've got here is this is Spooky Hollow yarn. This includes 2 acrylic yarns and 1 polyester yarn, and they are all... I don't know why I'm trying to work it out when I can actually read that they're 50-gram balls. So it's 3 50-gram balls of yarn. So we're talking 100 meters to 135 meters per ball of yarn. These are not small. I mean, they're acrylic. See if we can focus. See, I've changed the settings to make everything look moodier for Halloween, but all it's going to do is really make things more difficult to keep in focus. I'm really not sure why I bother sometimes. But we've got this orange colour, which is quite pleasant. And we've got this black colour, which is black yarn. And we've got this really horrible textured one, which makes me want to knit a spider. I do have a spider knitting pattern somewhere. Maybe I should do that. It's tempting. It's tempting. This is more like an eyelash yarn. But it's kind of like a sticky, outy, tinsely eyelash yarn. Anyway, these 3 balls in this pack here, one was called Spider and one was called Pumpkin, I think. This is Spider. I finally found its name on the label. So this is Spider for 3 balls of yarn, and this was $7. So that's pretty gosh darn cheap. At the same time, we've got this one that's even more crushed. This one is labelled Pumpkin. It's the same thing, sort of. Let's see if I hold them up next to each other. Yes. I'm fairly certain that's exactly the same orange and exactly the same black, except this time we've got an orangey tinsely one. They also had one with a purpley tinsel. I think there were 3 or 4 different ones in this range, and they're on sale for $7 for this wad. So, not bad. It's acrylic yarn, but it's a decent quality. The eyelash yarn, it's worth getting it just so that that's in the stash, in my novelty yarn stash. I am looking forward to when the house is finished and I get to set up my yarn room and realise that then we need to finish the shed so that I can have my yarn library built, and then I can become the curator of yarns. That's the plan. So, there's those. Then, I got these. This, Halloween Chenille and Spooky Hollow, this is kind of a big cake. This is bigger than I was expecting. This is a 150-gram cake of chenille yarn. It's quite a thick blanket yarn. I mean, it feels like a blanket yarn, you know what I mean? But it feels like it's not going to... It's not shedding, so definitely a blanket yarn, but it doesn't feel awful. Like, it still feels soft. I'm interested to get working with this and see how it goes. So this is recommending an 8mm needle, so it's quite chunky. 150 grams. I was trying to see whether or not it's got the length on here. It does, 73 meters. So that's pretty good. This was $5. That's the cheapest I've come across blanket yarn in a long time, particularly for nice blanket yarn. So I got this colour, which is purple. I was expecting a Halloweeny name. I've got Halloween Spooky Chenille in orange. I've got Spooky Chenille in black. I'm not even looking at the names, I've just guessed it, but I guess it's going to be called black. Yes, it's called black. And I've got one more surprise one. This one, which is a variegated one. There were several variegated ones, and there was a purple one in the range. I'm surprised I didn't buy the purple one, actually. This is Pumpkin Mix. But the main reason I got these is I figured these guys are going to go together. I did get the purple yarn, but I didn't get the purple mix. I'm sure there was a purple mix as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet, but we're still at the start of October as of filming this video. So that's some incredibly cheap yarn with a Halloween theme, if you're wanting to do a Halloween project and you're in New Zealand or Australia. So Spotlight, got your back, bro? That's not a bad sale, because all those yarns were 50% off. Now, Spotlight is known to have good sales, don't get me wrong. But I can't go past 50% on a novelty yarn. I feel like I should use it soon, but I also know that I have a lot of projects that need to be finished. So maybe these are my yarns for the stash for next year, when the Halloween yarns aren't necessarily on special, or if I'm smart and actually do some Halloween projects earlier in the year so that I can release them during November. This year, have I released a Halloween project? No, there's a Halloween sock, but I'm not even sure that I've got that one edited. Anyway, other than the Halloween sock that I don't think I've edited, that's my only new Halloween pattern for this year, but I can tell you the other ones that you can access, and I will try and link them up here. At least 4 of them have YouTube tutorials, so that feels like a good enough reason to pop them in this video. The first one, of course, is the pumpkins. We've got this cabley pumpkin, and we've got these tiny pumpkins. Admittedly, I've now given myself an absolute headache in trying to remember to put them on there, on either side. Anyway, both of these have a YouTube tutorial. The cable pumpkin tutorial was released last year, and the tiny pumpkin tutorial, for some reason, I think the tiny pumpkin pattern, which is really old, has gone super viral on Facebook. So thank you, ladies of Facebook. And that's just getting so many hits on my website constantly. It's kind of crazy. So I made the tutorial to help people out with that, because some people were struggling with, there's 2 patterns here. One's called the easy pumpkin and one's called the harder pumpkin. So the harder one, it was tripping people up on a few bits. So there is a tutorial that was released last month. So there's those 2 tutorials. If you're wanting some cutesy patootsy Halloween plushies, of course there's this zombie, which has got a YouTube tutorial, and also the spooky ghosts, which I released last year. Now the spooky ghost one works really well if you make it in glow in the dark yarn, because it glows in the dark, but also they're my kind of spooky. Slightly spooky cats, slightly spooky pumpkin cup, squishy yarn. So they're not super scary ghosts, they're more like your Pac-Man ghosts. So there's those. Those also have YouTube tutorials that I will link both up here and down below. We've also got over on my website, we have got, when I was experimenting with different I-cord techniques and I-cording over pipe cleaners, we've got a scary spider that I chickened out and only put 2 eyes on because I was too scared to put more eyes on him, but you could make him in a spookier colour and put more eyes on him. I'll link that pattern down below. And there's also a, I'd like to call him a fabulous bat. He's a knitted bat. But he also has an I-cord across the top of his wings so that he can wrap up or stick his arms out wide. So you've got those options. Also coming up shortly, we've got pumpkin booties, because my pumpkin booty pattern, which is the one I would like to say is most stolen from my website and copied and pasted into a PDF and sold on Etsy by somebody other than me when it's been free on my website for probably 10 years. I've re-updated. I've updated that pattern, and I've made a tutorial for the pumpkin booties, so that pattern is coming in the month as well. This makes me think that this video will indeed sneak in instead of one of the Socktober videos. Oh, it's going to go somewhere. You'll see this video sooner rather than later. So in the meantime, I will catch you next week or in a couple of days, depending on when this video goes up, and enjoy your own slightly spooky season, or in my case, hardly spooky at all, because I find things very, very scary, very, very easily. And what's my way of commemorating this Halloween? I have some soft squishy yarn. I'm rewatching Wednesday, and yes, I will rewatch all 4 Halloween Towns. Yep, that's as spooky as I get. I was offered a job once as one of those zombies attacking a cabin in the woods. Scared me, didn't even go to the audition. So that's how terrifying that was. Not a fan. Do I want to do a haunted maze? No. Love a corn maze, don't want the haunting. Did go to a haunted house in China. Didn't get scared. But that was a whole different kettle of fish. That was quite a well-lit haunted house, so I wasn't too scared. Anyway, I'm not into scares. I'm into yarns. So if you want to head off to Spotlight, this is not sponsored in any way, shape, nor form. I have no code for you, but they've got a great sale on. Grab yourselves some of the chenille yarn or the Spooky Hollow yarn packs, because they're both on a really good deal. And even if you don't want to use them for Halloween projects, they're still great colours and they'll make good Christmas gifts. In the meantime, I will catch you next week. Bye. Alright, in case I didn't do this before, I'm filming this now because I can't remember if I did or didn't do it. YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy this video up here. I'm going to try and link a holiday playlist of videos down here that has my Halloween projects in it. And up here you can click along and you can subscribe and be part of the fun on this channel. I will catch you next week. Bye.